Today, we are reacting to what Clifford the Big Red Dog terrifies me. Why is it terrifies me? And gross out warning. It's disgusting. Still a good video though. I don't give a gross out warning. So, please, take this seriously, yeah? I love this guy. I might react to his channel more. What do you think's gonna happen?
He's out there. Somewhere. You need to be ready. He could strike at any minute. Few things scare me as much as Clifford the Big Red Dog. And if any of you out
I love Clifford.
there watching have taken even a moment to ponder his existence, you'd be pissing yourself right now too. You know who I'm talking about. Clifford. Children's book mascot and life ruiner that's been flying off the shelves since 1963 because as time goes on, kids are turning further away from God's sacred creation and looking towards the libations of fantasy poison and an imagination-based sacrilege. That's to explain who he is because I'm not sure how popular he is outside of America, and
I know Clifford. He's pretty popular in the UK, I believe. Don't quote me on that.
I want the 23 people from Seoul, South Korea watching my channel this week to understand what I'm talking about. You near definitely have heard of or seen Clifford the Big Red Dog, but if
fuck this redesign. Elmy will always be to me a girl who wears pink and has plain black eyes. So actually, finally I change.
not, here's a quick recap from my memory. He was a tiny normal dog born destined to be the runt of the litter and a loser in everyone's hearts. But a girl named Emily adopted him and loved him so much that he grew to be enormous, to the point that all laws of physics had to be rewritten on the spot, and Emily has since been blamed for single-handedly increasing the inevitable heat death of the universe, which means these books are already giving children delusions of grandeur and need to be stopped. But let's get to the
So remember that.
heart of this matter before people think I'm actually touting religious doctrine instead of using it as a fun platform to call out people on their silly shit, aka doing what any priest does on a Sunday. Notice how I said I gave a recap of Clifford from my memory, and not from any sort of fancy schmancy book learning, because the point of this video isn't to analyze Clifford's works in any category. It's instead to postulate the idea of Clifford, the 25-plus foot dog, and how much of a horrifying concept that is. 25-plus foot is how much of a horrifying...
I think we're gonna have two images. Maybe not. Nah, you don't know.
Clifford, the 25-plus foot dog, and how much of a horrifying concept that is.
Remember, not remember because you guys don't know this, but as a child, I was terrified of big dogs. I think most of you guys are. Most of you guys are creeped out by big animals. Just remember it. Clifford could beat a T-Rex in a fight. Speaking of, that's actually a video I planned on reacting to. I'm not even joking now.
25-plus foot is an important distinction, because Clifford's size has never been officially notated, and during his book run he has been known to change size all over the place. Sometimes he's just like two dogs standing on top of one another, other times he's as big as a two-fucking-story house. It's important to note that no matter what universe we live in when systematically determining Clifford's height and girth, this beast is not a dog. He is a kaiju. You all know what kaijus are. Giant
Godzilla, King Kong, Mothra, No, don't say. I can think of one. Ghidorah, Rodan, Mechagodzilla, then Skarkin, Shimo, go on, I can keep going. Let me go around and think. Destroyer, okay, I can't think of any more.
Monsters from old school Japanese movies that essentially are there to warn us about how scary nuclear energy is, but
why is it so fun to be with kids? I agree with that. Like,
also,
I like hanging out with my nephew. He's pretty funny, yeah.
sometimes there to remind us that it's fun to hang out with children. Clifford's title is a false flag, a moniker given to him to lure unsuspecting children and too drunk to care parents into purchasing his merchandise, especially among those families who own a dog themselves and can immediately mutter under their breath, "Oh boy, that unsatiable hellhound's bloodlust sure reminds me of how sometimes my dog chews the stuffing out of his chew toys. Ha ha ha. Oh Clifford, you're so relatable, cute, and innocently destructive." The tallest dogs on Earth have measured just over 7 feet when standing on their hind legs. Based on their physiology, it's damn near impossible for us to ever see a 25-foot dog in our lifetime, or potentially ever based...
I don't want to talk about my own mortality, but I do believe I'll never see a dog that big in my lifetime because it's just unnatural.
On their proportions. Red is also not a naturally occurring color in dog fur. Oh, sure, you'll see red dogs with rust color or reddish shades of brown, but a red like this is going to be damn near impossible to find on a dog, let alone in nature in general. So extrapolating further from this, we can conclude that while Clifford certainly is big, and visually we can confirm he's potentially the reddest animal on the planet, he's just in no way a dog.
Dog, I mean, there's just no way in hell is Finn could be a dog. Right? Well, we'll ponder while we play some jams.
What if your money never...
If Clifford existed, it would be fucking terrifying.
Up to 4.5.
This leads me back to the kaiju argument. Godzilla is based on various dinosaurs and reptiles. King Kong is based on apes. He is not a giant ape. He is a monster similar to an ape. Stick with the video. Biollante is an amalgamation of plants. Ghidorah resembles dragons and Wolverines and other fantasy creatures. And Mothra, shockingly enough, is sort of like a moth.
I always thought she was a dragon!
Explicitly the animals they resonate from. They do not remotely fit the physical classifications for their assigned species. If they did, we'd
just remember that, everyone, now.
Be seeing Komodo dragons shooting laser beams from their mouths, moths being able to deflect bullets, and gorillas kidnapping women to have sex with them. I don't think that last one has happened, but hey, you're a particularly method-acting style of gorilla scientist who can correct me on that one. Let me know in the comments. So my question is this. Why does Clifford get a pass when in any other context he would be the scariest motherfucking thing on the planet?
I actually would like a fail or balance on animals, so it would be fucking terrifying now.
People aren't thinking clearly in the Clifford universe.
Think about it.
And they don't realize the terrible destructive power that this titan of flea and tick medicine can wield. Sure, the live-action Clifford movie from 2021 brought a lot of snide comments about the big red behemoth into the public consciousness on Twitter and the like, but number one, Did you guys even know this movie existed? I thought it was in 2016, to be honest. I didn't know this movie existed until I started making this video, and I'm sure many of you out there are the same way. And two, the movie was apparently not all that memorable or outstandingly profitable, so it had no real lasting impact on public Clifford-related consciousness whatsoever. Think how easy it would be for Clifford to level a sizable building if he gets a strong case of the Zoomies. Imagine the entire military task force required to be called in just to hold him down to clip his nails. And if Clifford isn't neutered, there's just some things that are too gross even for my channel.
I swear, if you want to keep your innocence, do not watch further. This is not a joke. It's not a game. I am begging you to click off now if you're sensitive to gross stuff. But I can't because it's my video, so you know what that means.
But not this topic, because
dogs would be everywhere!
And don't forget the terrible strain on the family. Imagine for a moment the financial, psychological, and physical damage trying to contain such an uproarious creature would result in. I hope you can afford literal metric tons of dog food at regular intervals.
There's no way he wasn't eating food. I'm just saying it. This guy was eating people, I mean, there's no way in hell this guy wasn't eating people,
Good luck replacing half your home once Clifford's game of tug-of-war knocks out the entire support beam structure. And do you like bleeding from the ears and being partially deaf? Well, enjoy that sensation, because anytime the mailman comes to your door, you better believe Clifford's upscaled muzzle is going to launch a projectile
Where's jokes of mailman being hurt? This mailman would fucking die.
Style of hearing.
Think about it this way. You know what makes the monster feel good? They don't call Godzilla a hero. Because they know Godzilla isn't a hero. They know he's not a good person. That's what's cool about it. They make you learn Godzilla, King Kong, all of them, they're no hero.
Projectile of hearing damage to you at rapid fire. Really think about this. Really think about it. If you were a parent, would you let your child own an elephant?
Yes.
Yes? Well, that's a good answer, because then you're just as cool as I am.
Yeah.
Most of you would probably say no. Why the fuck would you instead let them own something twice as big with 10 times the energy that's canonically taller than God? But let's get to the meat and potatoes of this question. The one you have all been wondering since the beginning.
Another grosser warning. Please, click off. I'm begging you. Don't actually. I need your money.
One I'd be a terrible content creator for if I didn't happen to cover it. Shit. Dog shit.
Dog
monster shit. Monster dog shit.
Dog shit, if you prefer.
Specifically, Clifford shit. Let's pull out our TI-83 graphing calculator, which these days still costs somehow over $100, and run the numbers. According to my calculations, I'm going to have to do zero work here because some other nerds already ran the numbers for me.
Geeks.
Specifically, Mel Magazine staff writer Brian Van Hooker and mathematician James Hind from Nottingham Trent University did all the number crunching I'm about to rattle off here. So make sure that they're buried with Congressional Medals of Honor to thank them for their service.
Thank you, too. I know I called you geeks, but, you know, thank you. I know it's goofy, but... Rest in peace.
Exact breed of Clifford the dog is unknown, and it's never been confirmed by author Norman Bridwell. That sick bastard will also never tell us the answer to this conundrum, because he died in 2014, taking all of his secrets with him.
I'm joking, of course, rest in peace, little creator.
To the grave. Most people guess that Clifford is either a type of Labrador Retriever or Vizsla. Vizsla?
Vizsla?
Vizsla? Vizsla? I have no idea. Regardless, he's very clearly based on a medium-sized dog breed, so calculations shouldn't really have that much syntax error. In James Hind's own words, the average height of a male Labrador is 22 inches, and for Clifford to be 10 feet tall, that makes him nearly 5.5 times, 5.455 to be exact, as large as an average retriever. For a dog with a healthy diet, we would expect a normal-sized Labrador to produce 3 portions of inch-wide poop, that is 4 inches long each day. In volume, that would be equal to a cube that's about 2.1 inches on each side. For Clifford, the pile of poop has to be multiplied by 5.455 in terms of its height, width, and length. That's roughly equivalent to a cube that's 11.52 inches on each side. Accounting for the margin of error, that's 1 cubic foot of dog poop. But wait! Have you been paying attention? Clifford's size is
inconsistent.
This example is calculated assuming Clifford stands at 10 feet tall. But if Clifford is currently in his 2-story house attack size, he can stand around 20 to 25 feet, which means we're approaching shits easily over 2 cubic feet.
Oh my god!
We're staring at a pile of shit that's about 1/3 your height, just as wide and just as long.
That's one big pile of shit.
Good luck wanting to deal with shit for the big fat log every day without exotic animal sanitation certification or a dedicated zoo cleaning crew living in your house. And yet, the Clifford books never talk about any of this.
Did they? Because let me tell you, I didn't. I read them all. I've never read a single Clifford's book. I can't even read. I can't read!
Prattle on and on and on about how he's a doofy, goofy oaf. And his antics are cute. And love will only make him grow bigger. Which means eventually Clifford's gonna grow large enough that one wayward sneeze will wipe out all of Baltimore. Or when it's time for walkies, the entirety of Milwaukee will be utterly drenched in dog piss. But I'm ready. Oh, I'm ready. This here's not a baseball bat.
No, my dear children.
This is my break stick. And and I intend to break it off in that motherfucker's eye.
I better put it in the demon's eye.
Red fuck.
You dirty fucker.
We're offering a $25,000 reward for the capture of the big red dog.
People don't like things that are different.
Oh my god, the monster! Did you see what?
It's all over the internet. There's a 10-foot dog in
It's massive!
Can't be real. This dog is killing me.
Oh god! No! Oh my god! Oh dear god! No!
How big is he gonna get?
That depends, doesn't it?
On what?
On how much you love him.
He eats like an animal.
He is an animal.
Sorry, I know I was scared there. I don't know how to end this. Bye guys.